the times that changed us. COVID-19 has forever altered our world. These are the stories of lives changed.
My name is Cleo Meyer. I am 26 years old. I'm a radiographer working at one of the tertiary academic hospitals in Cape Town. Before COVID, I was just a normal 25-year-old girl, living my best life, as they say. My life was just about doing things that I wanted to do for myself. My job is to take x-rays of patients, and with COVID, the demand for these x-rays was high. It was very stressful. It was a chaotic environment that we were working in. Like everyone in the world, we didn't know what was going to come next. So my experience with COVID started in April, actually on a public holiday. When I was sitting in the kitchen with my mom, we were cooking, and all of a sudden I felt a little scratch in my throat, and I thought, well, this is weird, this is not normal, but I still feel okay. I don't feel sick, I don't feel like something bad's going to happen to me. And that day I went about my day, and all of a sudden I started to feel a little bit of a fever coming on. And I thought, okay, maybe this is COVID. Maybe I should just get tested just in case. And at that time, there wasn't many people in South Africa that had COVID. And the people that I had seen at the hospital, the reality was that people weren't really leaving the hospital. If you were going to hospital, you weren't leaving. So I was a bit nervous, waiting. I was very, very scared. And obviously my main concern was my parents, because I thought I'll be okay, but what about my parents? So I waited 2 days, and my boss called me and she told me, look, I've got some bad news for you. You've got COVID-19. And that day I felt like the world was crashing around me. All I could think of is I'm an asthmatic. I've got these comorbidities. The people that have these comorbidities are ending up in hospital and they're not coming out. So what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my family? 2 days later, my brother and my father got their results and they were positive. And now I really started to stress, because my father has these comorbidities, and that was my biggest fear, is that I would pass this virus onto my family and someone in my family wouldn't make it. 2 days later, my mom got a fever of 40 degrees, which was higher than any of us were experiencing in the house. I was okay, I was coming out of my symptoms, but my family, no one was getting better. My brother started to get a bit more sick, so did my dad, but my mother just got worse and worse and worse, to the point where she could no longer speak to us. Eventually, I told my dad, look, I'm coming out of quarantine today. I'm gonna take my mom to the hospital, because we need to take this into our own hands and we have to get her into hospital. And I got her into hospital, and the doctor told me, look, Cleo, I don't have good news for you. I don't think your mom is gonna get better unless we ventilate her. And there again, I burst into tears, because I just felt, what's going to happen now? I'm the reason why my mom has COVID now. I probably got it at work and brought it to her. If she doesn't make this, how am I going to make it? So just before they ventilated my mom, she actually called us, which was so unexpected, but it was a moment of hope for us, I guess, because we didn't know if we were going to speak to her after we dropped her at the hospital. We didn't know if we will ever see her again. And her last words to us was literally, hi guys, they're going to ventilate me. I'm going to be okay. I love you. Bye. And that was it. I felt lost. I felt like I don't know if I'm going to make it through to the next day, honestly. I think my worst moment was when the doctor phoned us one day after my mom had been ventilated, and she said, look, I don't think she's going to make it to tomorrow. I couldn't deal with that. I was so lost in that moment. It was horrible for me. And then I also had to tell my father, and to see my father's tears run down his face, that was like, I'm lost now, because my dad doesn't cry. That hurt me deeply, and I just felt terrible. I didn't know what I was going to do after that. My life has changed drastically. As I said before, I was a carefree 20-something girl when COVID came. And now I'm an adult. I'm somebody that's having to go out in the world and do my part to stop this virus. I'm somebody that my mindset has changed. I'm a different person. Now what's important to me is family. It's humanity, being kind to others, just changing the world and helping the world be a better place. Nothing else matters. COVID is not going to go away if we don't do the things that we need to do to change it. we can all do something, even from the smallest thing of just wearing a mask or just social distancing. COVID has proven to us that it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're black, white, pink, blue, Christian, Muslim, whatever religion you choose to be. It doesn't care who you are, rich, poor. If it wants to come for you, it will come for you. But there are things we can do to prevent it. And there are things that we can do to protect ourselves. So if we can all do our part, then we can get through this, and we will get through this.
Their story is our story. Follow them by following HASA, Advancing Healthcare.